Advanced philosophy memes. We have made good memes. Advanced philosophy memes. Base fucking memes. Advanced philosophy memes. We have made good memes. Advanced philosophy memes. Base fucking memes. Shoutouts to Andreas, Deacon, my boy Scott, Pedro, and everyone else that engages on my posts. And Sarah, keep it up, man. You'll get there someday. And everyone else from Great News.
Dude, so there's some dude who lit himself on fire in a bus in Switzerland, and now they're all, not all the Swiss are in the world are dead, but like a bunch of Swiss died in this bus. 6 die in Swiss bus fire after man thought to have lit himself on fire. Raphael Berquin said the man allegedly responsible for the fire likely died. At least 6 people have died in the bus fire. Okay, you get my point. Whatever. Just crazy though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Why would you do that?
Some people are just crazy or possessed.
You got a funny thing going on with your microphone right now. What the hell is that all about?
You know what? I think it might be. I set up a new screen, so everything's fucked up right now.
Oh my god, bro. I should have tested your audio first. What have I done? Rope you into this. Reduce background noise, fix microphone cancellation. It'll all work out. Okay. What about
My background
now? It's not, it's just like, you know, like there's this weird like Matrix eating a pill and then turning into silver sound whenever you talk.
Maybe that's just my voice.
No, I know your voice. I wish it was.
What audio device are you using from StreamYard?
Me? Oh,
yeah.
Just my microphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which microphone is it?
I could back up. Oh, this is.
This is brutal.
USB PNP. I'll get out and come back in and see if I can fix it.
Okay. Yeah, give it a shot. This is probably my fault for like not testing it. I just assumed, you know, you had your mic working together because I'm a dumbass. This is Nick Fuentes if you had Down syndrome or
I didn't want to say it, but
yeah. All right. So what's up with the International Energy Agency? Is that real? Because apparently they have 400 million barrels of oil to release to address the Iran war supply disruption. Like, what are they doing with all that oil? Like, who is the IEA, right?
well, I know about the DOE and they're fucking shady as fuck. The DOE have their own intelligence agencies. I'm pretty sure they've killed people. Imagine, like, out of all the spooks to kill you, it's the Department of Energy.
The Paris-based autonomous intergovernmental organization set up under the framework of an organization for economic cooperation and development. It's an autonomous intergovernmental organization. I mean, what is this, man? This seems crazy. The agreement on the International Energy Program establishes the mandate and structure of the IEA. Charter. Give him a shot again. Hey, no, it's you. What's up, buddy?
What up?
We're talking about this like weird thing called the IEA that has 400 million barrels of oil that they're gonna like all of a sudden make a huge profit off of because of the Iran war.
What does IEA stand for?
Dude, right? It's the International Agency, Energy Agency. Yeah, International Energy Agency, which is an intergovernmental organization established in 1974, and it's based in Paris. And look at this, dude. I mean, associated countries, accession countries. Yeah, wow, exactly. This is some weird conspiracy, my friend. I don't know exactly what the deal is, but it's got some kind of Antarctica Thule Society Hyperborean vibes to me. That they have this oil OPEC monopoly manipulation going on, and there are 33 member countries, 33 with a. I mean, I don't know. We're living in a world. I'm telling you what, it seems crazy. And then DMT, 5-MeO DMT. Bryan Johnson's about to do 5-MeO DMT. Did you see that?
Is that the guy who's like young as fuck but mad old?
He's mad old, and he's trying to reverse the damage. He's like a former Mormon who started Venmo, and then he sold Venmo to Facebook, made enough money off of that he could start investing in, living longer. And so like Mormons take 10% of their money and give it to God. This guy's taking 10% of his money. He's no longer Mormon, and he gives his money to like making people live forever. Basically, is his goal. He just wants people to stop dying all the time.
Didn't he have like some huge come to Jesus after taking a heroic dosage of psilocybin?
Something like that. See, that's why it's interesting, because like it's not. I posted it a while ago. Bryan Johnson becoming Alex Gray within a year of trying psychedelic mushrooms is pure latter-day accelerationism. But you can totally I mean, I remember thinking this early on when I saw Alex Gray. I was like, dude, that guy takes so much 5-MeO DMT that he's almost androgynous. There's like something that happens with the hormones that flush out and makes your brain away. I can't give medical advice and say it's a good thing, but hey, look at you, Vincent. How about now? Take it too.
I don't know. You tell me.
Way back. Oh, I was so worried, and then you relieved me. It was like this surprise.
Good. I'm here to hit you with dopamine,
bro. Yeah. What do you think about the Alex Gray looking Bryan Johnson thing? Like Bryan Johnson took mushrooms and now he's taking 5-MeO DMT, and he said it's gonna like. What's the deal? Like he'll live way longer now.
I believe him. For him becoming Alex Gray, well, that's a special position. But hey, if he can accelerate the research on this and all the benefits and stuff, then go for it. I'm totally down. Even if I'm not a huge fan of it.
If George Bush can become a painter as prolific as he has become, one can only imagine Bryan Johnson entering the art world after seeing through the veil.
Yeah, but there's a whole lot of psychedelic artists out there, and what makes George Bush interesting as an artist is the fact that he's George Bush. But this is just some dude taking psychedelics, and then like if he starts making psychedelic art, he'll be in the sea of psychedelic art, and the people will just compare him to Alex Gray because Alex Gray is the quintessential psychedelic artist.
See, I think what I was getting at with the Alex Gray thing is that he looks like Alex Gray now. Alex Gray, where did I put it here? Like he got his soul. You could see the soul in his eyes coming back. Right. This is
spark
kind of,
again. He regained the
there's
spark.
something about you were talking about hormones a second ago, and I feel like the hormones are flushed out in Bryan Johnson now a little bit more. The way that Alex Gray's hormones are totally flushed out all the time, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. Oh, their eyes too, for sure. But there's something where this guy used to. I mean, have you seen like old Bryan Johnson?
He was harvesting blood from his son, wasn't he?
Yeah, he still does sometimes, right? I think he just gives his dad his own blood now or something because he's trying to save his dad's life. But his son's super into it. Like they're doing it for science. They gave a blood transplant. He used it for the plasma, but now he makes his own plasma.
Middle one gives data vibes.
Totally.
Star Trek. But yeah, I get what you mean. But I don't know, man. Like he does seem to be more and more like Alex Gray has a certain aesthetic to him, and maybe that comes from taking psychedelics. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it does.
It gives you like a certain look, certain gravitas, let's say.
You know, certain people take estrogen and they start looking like a chick. You know, I'm pretty sure there's certain people take tryptamines and they start looking like Alex Gray. That's just
like shamans. They get shaman face. They get shaman face.
He gets Lucifer face. He gets
Shaman.
What?
He gets
Shaman.
Lucifer face is beautiful angel face. It's an androgynous look that comes from so many tryptamines in your system.
I don't know if that's true. I don't think psychedelics cause that. But
You don't think psychedelic? You don't think?
I don't think psychedelics make you look like Lucifer. Personally,
I think
I've
psychedelics.
never met a psychonaut. But I'm like, yeah.
I think research chemicals in certain mushroom dosage, the tryptamines affect your hormone regulation and can make you look more. You know, I don't want to say it because I'm worried it'll get me in trouble on YouTube to say it, but like that, like shine feel, I think is the expression in China.
Alex Gray has always been about synthesizing the light and the dark, the male and the female.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow
Dude, he's doing this tonight. This is the thing. Like this evening, after he just started talking about.
You want to stream it?
He's gonna stream it. We'll pop it.
We're gonna stream him streaming
when it finally starts happening. Last time he had Ashley Vance, Hamilton Morris, Grimes, all these people called in. He has like so much power to tell people more. This is like Joe Rogan telling people to do DMT times 1,000.
Yeah, but what I don't like about what he did is like I saw part of his mushroom trip, and like he's listening to like just the most basic bitch music possible.
He's a basic bitch. That's the whole point.
I agree.
He's like a hot pocket eating Mormon kid who got enough money selling Venmo that he can now start in his 50s or something doing what you did all your life since you were like 14.
Sure.
You know, he's just starting on that path, which is interesting for people. I saw some kids.
Sorry.
I was gonna say I saw some kid review Sony Vaio laptops. He's like 10. He's like, I don't know. He's like 19 or something like that. And he's reviewing laptops that never existed in his lifetime. This kid's born like after 2007 or some shit. And he's just now seeing. It's like, did you guys know in like 1999, Sony made these really weird computers called Vaio, and they looked really different and interesting. And he's obsessed with our lifetime.
Wait till they find out about the mini disc players. They'll be like, "What the fuck is this thing?"
I love
those things. Yeah, those are awesome.
Oh my god. Yeah, first one I ever saw was from an East German guy. Sorry, Vincent. You were trying to say something and I went on tangent.
I don't remember what the guy's name is. The guy who was going to take DMT.
Bryan Johnson. His name is
the guy who measures his son's genitals.
He's only measuring him to show you that he made it bigger with better diet, which I think is kind of cool, right? No?
Look,
okay.
I am all for increasing the national. I mean, I'm all for increasing the national average size, but I think that like when someone has that much success, like he made a lot of money selling Venmo, like you said. Like once you get access to so much luxury and so much money, you realize that it's all kind of meaningless. And I think that's what happened with him. As he was getting older, he realized, oh shit, like time is creeping up. I spent all this time, having these goals, and now I've achieved them, and now I have everything I could possibly want. And he realizes it's not really enough. It's kind of like the Jim Carrey route, really, where you just realize where that there's more to reality than what you've been told. And you start exploring, and then eventually you fall into psychedelics or rise into psychedelics, and you learn and you grow, and then you get what you get here. Like just someone who spent his life thinking he understood reality, and then he takes something that completely shatters all of that. And it's good that it's exposed. It's just, I don't want to. It's not like if terrible people take psychedelics, like it doesn't harm the reputation of psychedelics. Like unless the person is an idiot, like who's processing that terrible people have taken psychedelics, but it makes terrible people better if they're wise, So
or it makes like decent people better. So that was the thing about so Bryan Johnson, strictly speaking, my hypothesis is this only could happen to a Mormon, right? This guy, what he did with his life, first off, he ate Hot Pockets, lived in the desert, screwed up his skin so much, didn't take care of himself because he thought that all material reality was transitory anyway, and so he
masturbated a lot, ate a lot of junk food.
Definitely a lot of junk food. He might have
skipped
masturbated
sleep.
a lot.
Where is measuring from? And a flaccid measurement is kind of false, right?
I think the point is like he's a grower, not a shower, or something like that, you know. But also like liquid dehydration, you know, if you're in the desert and you're dehydrated, or if you're super cold all the time,
You gotta
I'm sure
slurp
these
it back up
factors-
so you don't lose that. You got Dune rules, motherfucker.
Yeah, so he's making sure you're properly hydrated, have an electrolysis treatment that makes you extend the muscles and the lactic acids in your skin, so you have like a stretchy skin. There's probably also hyperbolic chamber exercises or like suction things. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what he's doing with his kid. I really don't. That's not the point.
I don't think they have the hyperbolic chamber, bro.
Bro, I want the hyperbolic chamber. Why can't we all have a hyperbolic chamber? Steam room, you know, I got a little steam tent. He's got to have the steam tent. I'm pretty sure he's using the 666 nanometer red light, the red light therapy that makes the collagen grow in your skin, doing all that. But okay, so here's a dude who didn't take care of himself. He believed his life was transitory and the material reality would eventually replace itself because you're going to go to heaven, right? You're going to go to heaven and you're going to be a god. Who cares if you're fat and bald right now? Because you're going to be a god. It'll all be okay. That's like the thing he was taught as a kid. And so then he makes all this money. And the whole point with the money is you're supposed to give 10% back to God, right? But you give it through the church. But if you don't trust in the church anymore, how do you give that 10% back to God? I think that's his whole deal. He doesn't want to die because he thinks that you're supposed to go to heaven. That was his belief as a kid, was that you would become a god eventually. And so now he's trying to wrestle with, how can I keep believing what I believe, or how can I make what I believe true, right? Can I make it true? Can I make it happen? Maybe it's not real yet, but isn't that really my responsibility anyway? If I believe something, I should make it real. I think that's his whole deal. So he's taking 10% of all the Venmo money and he's putting it into life extension technology, but he's testing it on himself. A lot of people would just test this on guinea pigs or minorities, but no, he's actually taking the pills and the research himself, checking his blood, measuring his own dick and his kids apparently, and taking his kid's blood or giving his dad his own. Like he's doing all the tests himself, and anybody who's involved with that, I find that interesting, right?
Did you guys see that they reversed aging in mice with stem cells or whatever? It's like they removed it, and then they aged that mouse instantly, and then they reintroduced it, and then it reversed the aging that they artificially created. Hold on,
Nice.
microwave.
Yeah, telomere extension and teratogenic DNA sequencing also, that you can replace failed folds in your telomere DNA. There's elasticity that's lost because the genomic expression gets shorter as it's copying itself. It has to cut a part of itself and it gets smaller and smaller. So they're able to reverse that by having data that's stored. And so having DNA data, and this is, a lot of people are like, DNA doesn't exist, which I don't completely understand the conspiracy of right now.
All right, but yeah.
Yeah, using DNA, you're supposed to convert the old DNA, like an adenoviral, like it should mutate your current DNA and add through CRISPR missing sequences that you've since lost. So one of the best tricks would be to have stored old DNA of yourself. If you have DNA from your past that you can then go back to. And so this is another like question, how can you store and replicate enough of your own DNA? Maybe by using like collagen or
can't you use
fat.
like a Git system for your DNA?
Someday you will be able to. Right?
Yeah, like a branch control system, you know.
And that's going to be more interesting because we were talking about this before, that you could store data in your blood. Like I think it's like 300 terabytes to a gram or something like that, 215 terabytes to a gram. So you can sequence it and even have maybe an additional chromosome or something that has more data that's stored. And you could probably store whatever sequences you want. The difference is that every generation, those DNA sequences reshuffle. So you have a new sequence that would be lost unless you're somehow able to store from both sides the same sequence. But if you just did liposuction, you take all this fat out that has your DNA in it, right? And if you do this with like blood plasma, it's really expensive. So learning how to replicate blood plasma using the same DNA that you already have to grow it, you could do this 20, maybe you're like 20 years old, 25 years old, store that and generate it for the next 20 years. And then when you're older, you could use that to re-augment your DNA. So it would follow the sequences that you used to have, because it's like, okay, I hear I'm copying myself, but there used to be something, oh, here it is. And it finds it and it fills it out. Oh, Andrew's gone. He was the one who wanted to talk about DNA mortality. Oh well. I'll be back.
What would you do with more time?
Watch more Dragon Ball.
Yeah. What about you, Vincent? What would you do with more time?
How much more time?
Like another 50 to 100 years of life than you're expecting now.
How many more languages would you learn?
That's a good one. Like learn as many languages.
I learned everything as much as possible. I spend the first 50 years, maybe first 100 years, just preparing for the next 100 years. So right now, like Carl Jung said that life only really starts at 40. And so if you're living 200 years, life only really starts at 100. Because it's
life only starts at 120.
Midlife crisis sort of thing.
If I had another 50 to like 100 years to practice swordsmanship and just focus on it hardcore, my God, maybe I'd like eventually learn how to like cut rocks perfectly in half or some shit. I would definitely be like on some crazy shit. Maybe I'd learn how to like just, I don't know, master my body to such insane degrees. Like I don't even need a sword.
Well, I think I'd go the route of trying to do experiments on myself for as long as possible to develop superhuman powers in some form or another. Whether it's
practice is the goal, is the way, man.
Of course, and practice and time, of course. So
yeah, because that's what
usually. If I have 100 years to focus on, I don't know, shooting Kamehameha waves or whatever, then like
eventually, you're gonna pump that air.
If I spend 100 years doing it, I might develop some sort of cognitive, technology or unlock a part of the chakras. That
maybe levitation. Maybe you figure out levitation. I'm pretty sure. Like,
I'm down. And it's something that I want to do in my lifetime, whether I have 200 years or not.
Maybe then you can afford like 30 years of semen retention. After like you're 80 or something. It's like it's time to commit to this fucking levitation shit.
You can spend your 100 years trying to develop the powers of longevity so you can have another 100 years, but I think
that's kind of the plan, I think. So like, that's what's interesting to me about this whole thing is this guy, he's still living in that mentality that he was trained as a child in. If you're good, God will reward you and you'll live better, longer in the future forever, basically. Sure. So what's he doing? He's like eating super healthy. He's trying not to do things you shouldn't do, like certain kinds of drugs, like, he doesn't smoke and doesn't whatever. Although I don't want to argue about that either, because, you see Naropa and he's got his there's some other opinions on all that as well. But he's following all the rules he knows. He's trying to do what he can so that if he's a good boy, he can live longer. If he makes it, right? If you're a good boy, you can live till you're 120. And by the time you're 120, this generation, there should be a bunch of trillionaires and billionaires who've already figured out how to live beyond 120 to 300. And so if like anybody, we're probably living today amongst the first people that will already make it to living 125, 128, and then 300 years old. And then the people that make it to 300, there's going to probably be within the next 300 years, technology that will extend your life 1,000 years, right? So we could be the few people that decide to be as healthy as possible and to follow whatever transhumanist regimens might be around the first immortals. The first immortals might already be alive today, right?
It would be cool if we could start.
I think they've been around for a long time. Sorry.
True.
If we could start buying up like solar systems, like the way we buy real estate now. I think that would be nice to see in real life. Well, because it's like, you want to, instead of being roommates, like, you want to split a solar system and do whatever you want with it. Maybe harvest everything to create a Dyson sphere. Who knows?
I figured that most like the universe or the galaxies probably have they already have some real estate brokers, and you can't just go in and be like, oh, this is my solar system now.
Why not? If there's no one there doing any, if there's nothing there.
What I'm saying, there probably is something there already. It's probably some sort of galactic order that got there before us and took up all the realty. So
yeah, but there's so many stars, dude.
So we're gonna wage war, basically. We're gonna go and kill.
Glenn Maxwell, is this the right window? Can you hear what she's saying? Hold on, gotta see. She talks about how like in the ocean there's commons and that she wants to build a new country in the ocean, right?
Is removing key species.
This shit was an archer.
Dude, I mean, if we have the commons,
a circle that says boat, I don't know if
I mean, this is where her dad died, right? Alone without any territory out in the commons. So her obsession with the seas and with the commons actually makes way more sense when you start
Well, you
to
know
see
what?
it.
Space could be fake, but we know the ocean stuff is pretty real.
Totally. I've been thinking about that show, right? SeaQuest, DSV, clearly about Scientology. And it has the guy from Quantum Leap, who's Joey's unretarded brother. Roy Scheider from Jaws. Bro, this show is Star Trek, but for real, you know? Diaquino. Jonathan Brandis, who was probably sacrificed in the worst way.
Mm.
My God. Or not, maybe. I don't know. You never know. It's a weird show. Have you ever seen that show? You know what I'm talking about? It's like Star Trek in the ocean.
Yeah, I get the gist. It's pretty
I've
cool.
heard of it, never watched it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's like Star Trek, but it's more real because it's about the Navy and their secret military programs that they have underwater. I recommend it.
Inner Space.
Have you seen that movie with Martin Short, Inner Space?
Intronauts.
Inner Space is good. It's got like a guy who goes into a spaceship or something that shrinks down into your bloodstream.
I did see
And-
this movie.
Yeah,
It was
he
a good
travels
movie.
through a Canadian man's bloodstream, a neurotic Canadian man. Steven Spielberg presents. I don't know. It's pretty good. Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
That's a weird movie, man. Isn't like Meg Ryan in it? Yeah, Meg Ryan.
What a
Trippy.
hottie.
Dude, she like destroyed herself, right? Didn't she do that thing? where
I
she,
don't
like-
know. They all kind of do, except like I don't know. The hottest white lady in Hollywood right now supposedly is I think
Jim
Gwyneth.
Carrey. Just kidding.
Not Gwyneth Paltrow. Who's the other lady? I don't know. She'll come back.
Amber Page or whatever. Amanda
Goop.
Page.
No, it's not Meryl Streep.
Amber Heard. Amber Turd.
Amber Heard's mid.
She was allegedly the most symmetrical face, right?
Symmetry is not the most telling sign of beauty, in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's
you
just-
just you want a big
bullshit.
titted goth girl.
Oh,
with a
okay.
big-
I remember the name. It's Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Michelle
Oh.
Pfeiffer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Catwoman.
Michelle
Catwoman.
Pfeiffer is a very pretty lady.
She was
I'll
the
admit.
OG Catwoman.
Oh man.
She's pretty good. Yeah, she's pretty good.
She's got
Yeah.
a tasteful amount of work. She's allowing herself to age gracefully, you know?
This really is the View. I can't believe it. We've got that.
Hell yeah.
Oh my
We gotta judge these black girls. No, I don't.
Your eyes are super
All women
wide
are
apart.
beautiful. All right, whatever.
Her eyes are so wide apart. It just seems like, you know, your eyes are flat in your face if you're a predator, and if you're a prey, you have these kind of fish eyes. that are
No, I
like-
think it's the other way around. I think herbivore eyes are further apart, and predator eyes are more closer.
just straight ahead.
Predator eyes face forward.
Wait, that's what we said, right? Predator eyes are straight ahead, and then the fish eyes are the predators forward, and prey is out. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
prey is the
the,
fish eyes. Yeah, okay.
herbivore eyes. Yeah.
the Queen's Gambit girl there.
Andreas knows about the eyes. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about any like a celebrity woman that's been.
That's a
consuming
fun-
foreskins to survive.
That's a
I
fun
ain't worried
boyfriend
about
girlfriend debate where it's like you tell your girlfriend, it's like, you know, you got pretty close eyes. It's like, shut up. You have close eyes. I don't have close eyes.
Is that like a major thing that you argued with your ex-girlfriend about?
No, I just saw that in Mr. and Mrs. Smith with the new one with Donald Glover and that Asian lady, and I was like, this is not like the movie, but it's I see what they're trying to go for. I don't have
Do you
close
like
eyes. You have
Donald
close eyes.
I do like Glover.
What were you saying, Andreas, about I feel like I interrupted you with something.
I don't know about the eyes. I don't know. Just like, you know, predator prey. We're talking. Nothing really important. I'm still trying to figure out like if he's starting his thing. I want to see Bryan Johnson take 5-MeO. He doesn't understand 5-MeO DMT is not like a let's hang out drug. So the fact that he's gonna take it and he's gonna have people call in, he's gonna be like unconscious,
Yeah, he
having an
doesn't.
ego death. Like, right? Sorry,
He's
what are
gonna
you saying?
learn.
That's the one that
Yeah.
they from the Toad.
They can
I
get
mean,
from the toad, but
Yeah,
it's
5-MeO is the toad stuff.
but it is synthetic. Like I'm sure he's taking. I don't.
Oh,
think he's
that's not the
taking-
good stuff. Then, if you're getting it synthetic, then you're not really happy.
Actually, I can't be sure. I don't know. I just presume he's getting the synthetic stuff, but I don't know. Maybe you think he's going to get a natural bioavailable dose?
Look, if this guy licks a toad on camera streaming, I am going to start following him. If I see a toad licker, that's the real like balls to the wall. Like I ain't waiting for scientists to do it. I'm just gonna lick it. That's the real stuff to me.
Psychedelic frog. What's it called again? Psychic frog. There it is. There you go. If you lick the toad, they will begin to trust you. Okay. Let's hope for the best, man. It's probably too late. He's probably already made his mind. It's gonna start soon, but there's no way to even see the stream because the freaking YouTube is down right now. Or X's streaming platform is not working right now, unfortunately, which is really crazy.
Look, what the man does with the machine elves is his own business.
I agree. Everything happens for a reason. So it could be that the universe is going, they're not ready. You got to do it alone. Yeah. It's not like if anyone can see what he sees anyways. So
it's just weird that, the YouTube channels, I'm sorry, I keep saying YouTube, the X videos are not streaming right now. Also, I wonder if that has anything to do with the war. What do you say, Andrew?
I said, don't say X videos.
Oh, yeah. But what are you supposed to call them? Twitter sounds way worse. Like a lot of these tweets. Twitter sounds, like Palm Pilot is clearly the kid who jerks off in class too much, and Twitter is like what the girls are doing.
Mm-hmm. Twiddling their Twitter.
They're twittering their tweets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. On those X videos.
Very yonic. The opposite of phallic, supposedly.
Is yonic?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, Andrew. What?
Oh, I was just gonna ask if anybody from the Holy Land's been looking you up in the last week.
Oh, should I check? Because what did you use? Google Trends, right?
Yeah.
You were looking at Google Trends. It's kind of interesting. You can actually see about yourself, Andreas Exertus, or topic. I could even do that, right? That's what I should do. Over the past,
there's a region. Pick by region. That's the U.S.
Right. Go to where, like, when you say Middle East.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, you could go by region, can't you?
0 in Iran.
Dang.
They're censoring me in Iran, bro. They don't want you to know about. They don't want the Iranians to know about Exertus. How about Israel? Yeah, that's even worse. That's even worse.
How about Canada?
Government name.
Let's try Canada. Please, Canada. Don't let me down. Please, I think maybe I'm just not.
Sorry, I'm not trying to.
Try US.
I'm just not popular anymore, bro. Nobody cares. Or if I ever was, nobody cares. Yeah, Canada, just bad.
Look up US.
Just do worldwide. Anybody at all give a damn? 0, bro. In the last 24 hours, 0 people have given a damn about me. Looking up. Is that true? Is that possible? Could that actually be true?
Past week, past month. Yeah. All time. Oh, Lord.
2004 to present. Anybody? Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. There's got to be more than that because it knows me as a person. So this is just not working right. Okay, now I feel slightly better. Yeah, this can't be accurate because, like, I know I'm a search term because there's literally a search term at the top there. So I don't know.
I don't believe it.
Tell yourself that you're famous. Yeah, whatever. That's really sad, bro. That's pretty sad. But I don't think it's true because, like, obviously, if it has me as a search term and it even has a picture of me, it knows who I am. So obviously, someone sometime searched for me.
Look, ever since the Iran war started, the amount of people who looked up Andreas on Google has drastically lowered. So it's a distraction from Andreas.
This is clearly the facts.
I think Epstein's Island was a distraction to get people not to look up Andreas.
Sometimes I hate to be like that, but sometimes I wonder, bro, because Tartaria was Tartaria maxing pretty hard right up until I think the collapse of civilization as we know it, People were expanding their interest in Tartaria everywhere. And now everyone knows about it, but
that's what happened the last time with Tartaria too. So
I just collapsed society. Yeah. It's a bunch of bastards.
It's like okay. The cycle's, we've been cycling for a while, and I think that we're gonna loop back around to. Well, we're gonna reach the conclusion of this cycle and start a new cycle. It's gonna be bigger.
I think the divine feminine is returning. At least that's what I hope. I think matriarchy. I think matriarchy is coming back, and all matriarchy is prioritizing the safety of children. There's no oppression of men that happens. It's just
if you keep it divine.
That's a Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know.
But look, the thing I will counter by saying I think that the divine masculine is coming back because it's been suppressed for a heavy long time. While we could have both at the same time instead.
I think I think the inner child is going to make a comeback. Okay, I think everyone's going to become more in touch with their inner child, and they're going to be healthier, less cortisol spikes, because they're going to realize nothing matters. Not like the depressive version, but like nothing matters. I could do whatever I want.
Everything matters.
Good stuff.
Sure, but that's that is coming for sure. And if you become again as a child, then you can get into the kingdom of heaven, apparently. So
I mean, all right. So if you want to take it allegorically, like the return of, say, a magical world, and what if like technology could enable us to really just manifest shit out of thin air instantly, like at a thought, depending on like the whim of a thought, and how dangerous would that be? Or we talked about this before when I was like, imagine a world where everyone could make themselves happy or sad whenever they wanted, like purely by will. You know how dangerous that could be? Like where people are just like, oops, sorry, I bombed your church, but it was just a joke, right? We could all get over it, right?
Or weirder, like they willed your people out of existence. Once everyone's a god,
It's like, whoops, I collapsed your wave function. Sorry, I guess you're not going anywhere in reality.
I once had a conversation with maybe a decade ago now. It was on my birthday, and I took a bunch of the magic stuff, and I went to hang out around a mountain. And a random homeless man in his underwear ran up to me, and he sat next to me, and he started just talking to me. And we started discussing God and reality. And I told him that the powers of God would be unlocked for mankind. And he told me that would cause way too much destruction and it would be horrible. And I told him, as long as everything happens within the channel of God's plan, then it'll all come to pass as it should, even the bad things. And this blew his fucking mind. It's like everything that he's ever done wrong in his life. He was like, well, if it exists and it's part of God's plan, therefore it kind of, it had to happen.
There's a lot of institutions that like kind of push you towards that, especially when you're in like really deep depths. Like how AA seems to be the only thing that works for certain like alcoholics. They're like, I tried everything else, but this was the only institution that was like, have you considered the crazy possibility that maybe this shit is all your fucking fault? Like everything the bad that's ever happened to you to push you to be an alcoholic. Maybe you should
submit yourself to God.
Yeah, and maybe you really don't got it, and maybe God has to take the reins. Maybe you should submit yourself to God because you clearly don't fucking have this shit figured out. Look at your life, look at yourself, and that's what pushes them to be like, shit, whatever, I'll give this a shot. I literally have nothing else to lose.
The founder of AA, Bill, I think that's his name, was a psychonaut. He was an advocate for psychedelics, and he went down the shamanic route. So it looks like AA is a surrogate for shamanism in our culture, and it can't actually replace shamanism. It's just that culture has suppressed shamanism so much that it needs to be kept inside of this sort of like safe basement inside of churches kind of thing,
I do like the positive aspect of like, hey, nothing else worked. Like I tried drugging out the alcoholism. I tried eating it out and it just didn't fucking work. So I just started looking towards God, leaning on God. It's nice to know that could work for some people.
I agree, but if it doesn't work for everyone, I think it's about the submission aspect. Like people who are sorry, go on, Andrew.
So I was just gonna say, you get to pick your higher power. Some people are like, there's these stupid little catchphrases where like God could be group of drunks, or your higher power could be a doorknob. People get goofy with it because there is such a stigma around like the Abrahamic church God.
So it's like Freemasons.
Yeah,
to a certain degree, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Oh, which degree? 33rd? Sorry.
Yeah.
But they get into all sorts of other shit too, like gratitude, for example. Like try the first thing you do every day is to thank your higher power for the day. Like thank it that you get another day to wake up to at all, you know, because that's not guaranteed.
Yeah, the big dude, accountability, you know, for the most part, but anonymity, that seems to be like it's the cornerstone of all the foundation of all of our principles or whatever, some nonsense. But I think there's more power if you put your name and, you know, if you back up your sobriety with your identity, I suppose.
Perhaps. The thing is, when people drink and do horrible things, you know, they don't really want people to know about them. It's shame and regret. So it's like if they go in with their full real names, then people can be like, oh, well, I don't like what I heard this guy confess in his, you know, moment of need for security and safety. I'm going to go and like tell his wife, or, you know, go and hunt him down because I heard he did something horrible, like punch a 6-year-old or whatever. You know, like there's so many horrible things that alcohol makes people do, or changes people's consciousness in a way that they feel like they should do it, that like at some point being anonymous might be better, because the alternative is you're giving your slave name and then going, well, hey, we should, you know, like we should be able to dox him. We should be able to this and that. It's like, well, then why bother going to confess all your sins, you know?
Hey, I hear you. My mom told me about this meeting that she went to in San Francisco, like, I don't know, over 20 years ago, where this guy came in, and in a relapse, he like took someone's life. So he came to the meeting to kind of like just come clean. And then some people in the room were like, we got to call the cops. And the other people were like, we're anonymous, blah, 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 blah. We no opinion on outside affairs. It's like he just murdered someone. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, there's boundaries. Of course, there's limits to it, you know? Yeah. Just same for a priestly confessional. Like if the priest goes like, oh, this guy's eating people or whatever, but I won't tell them because, you know, the covenant, or like, dude, just fucking go and tell them about the canon. Go tell the cops, you know. At some point.
I mean, I wonder about the Faustian bargain, because you're talking about like Masons too. It's like, how much good do you have to do? Like, how much pure water do you have to put in a cup of poison before it's okay again, right? So,
right.
I mean, because, you know, there's a certain amount. I think it's like with the pork and the Jewish soup, 164.
You know, but there's the problem with trying to trick God and all this, and I recognize that
that's God's favorite thing, though, right?
The thing is, I recognize that an aspect of reality, it rewards being wily. The more wily you are, the more God is going like he's courageous and like we're gonna like. But at the same time, right? there's consequences no matter what, and you can't bypass consequences through exploit. This isn't like a game, you know. Like you can't just be like,
I don't know, right?
I'm gonna eat babies, but it's okay because I give millions of dollars to shelters or something. And this is the sort of mentality that they have. They're just like, it's okay for me to do horrible things as long as I give 10% of like my money, and I slap this goat around or this chicken around.
Jewish women's wigs thing. Jewish women wear wigs. Yeah. This is like my favorite thing. Like this is one of my favorite.
I don't know enough Jewish women, I guess.
Okay, so here's the deal.
They're not allowed to show their hair.
Wait, are they black Israelites? Sorry.
Muslim women are not allowed to show their hair. You know this. But Muslim women have to wear burqas and hijabs and stuff like that because they have to hide their hair. It's all really, they can wear a beanie, they can wear a baseball cap. It's not really important. You're just not supposed to be flashing your hair around. Okay. But the thing is, Jewish women aren't supposed to show their hair either. But they don't do the hijab thing very often. More commonly, Jewish women will get a wig that looks exactly like their regular hair, an identical copy.
Well, hold on, because there is a color that is the most popular, and it's like this very deep red.
Yeah, true. Like Muhammad. Yeah, well, Ashkenazis, the Georgians, the red hair, there's something about that for sure. Still, my point was, I mean, I like it. We can
know about Chris.
Wait, the point was that God likes it when you try to game his shit.
Totally, because life's like, it's all just a freaking game. Like to tell you you're not supposed to eat meat and cheese at the same time, like, or that you can't have shrimp, but you can eat like cow as long as the cow was hung upside down so the blood drained out. It's like, are you kidding me? No matter what, this is all a freaking game. Why would it be like that? Unless it's just that it's a game. So And if God's in the image of man, because we always say that man's in the image of God, but if that's the case, there's got to be this macrocosm, microcosm
I mean,
thing.
there is another angle to it. There's that quote. I keep forgetting who says it, but the guy who's like, traditions are solutions to problems we forgot. And most often the problems don't really go away entirely. They just change form in one way or another, and they're still persistent.
True. So
Sure,
they don't disappear. But like still the idea that God likes you trying to game the system because that's all that you were created to do, maybe, is to game the system. Kill a chicken, try to trick God.
The thing is, gaming the system isn't the same thing as gaming God. And gaming the system, the system is a worldly creation, institutions of man, while God works in the macro, in the synchronicity of the universe. So if you're trying to like change your synchronicity by doing rituals that are going to forestall your karma or the consequences of your actions, well, what you're actually creating is your own apocalypse in the future. And so God wants us to game the system to learn to not be fucking idiots, and so that, you know, eventually we can actually grow and ascend instead of having to resort to cheap tricks and like going like, oh, I have a hat so he can't see me, or I'm going to build a device so that when I do this, I'm not technically working on this day. Like, these are all things that obviously don't trick God. He's not an idiot, but he goes,
but he's
okay,
gotta love it. He's like, get in here.
I appreciate it's the attempt that matters, I guess, you know, like, but the thing is, eventually it's going to catch up to you. That's what revelations are. That's what an apocalypse is. It's just everything you've been hiding for so fucking long eventually eats your own ass. You know, like it's coming back to you and it's going to bite you. And just like
Bryan
it did with
Johnson licking a toad.
Just like Jeffrey Epstein, just like all these people that eventually fall. And I mean, everyone dies at some point unless they're a vampire.
That true? Because like, again, the other narrative is that maybe
I say
Epstein
that.
wasn't the bad guy, and they sacrificed Epstein because they wanted to keep doing evil things at Finger Lakes, right?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But they got to do this every so often to forestall the apocalypse. And then once they can't forestall it anymore, that's when everything is going to come out.
Also, I just want to say, like, a lot of times my worldview is identified with like this pillar of like saying, and we're all the same because we all die at the end of the day, no matter how we live. And it, you know, I say that as a challenge, because if someone could prove that wrong, it's like, no, actually, like, one of us just is still alive after like 300 years, but they just chose not to reveal themselves. Then I'd like to see that too. I would totally change my position on everyone dying. You know, maybe that could change.
What does happen at Finger Lakes?
Bad things.
You guys know? Up in upstate New York, Finger Lakes, upstate New York. You know what I'm talking about?
Are those like the claw marks of a giant or something?
So yeah, like, so here probably. So these are the tattoo on the back. Why is he wearing a bra? Like he's like a bra tan line.
Huh.
I never thought about that. But anyway, he's also got the Finger Lakes tattooed on his back right there. You know what I mean? And Finger Lakes, New York, is upstate New York, known for its stunning lakes, outdoor activities, wineries, like Rothschild wineries, and charming small towns. Small towns. New Yorkers are always afraid of small towns, right? Because that's where all the weird stuff happens, making it a perfect destination for nature lovers and adventure seekers. 11 glacial lakes. There's this whole scene in remember when Jim Carrey started in The Office and he kept talking about all the people that go missing in the Finger Lakes? You know? Yeah, dude. I wonder about the Finger Lakes. What are they doing up there?
Eating babies.
Eating babies, maybe? No, I mean, I can't say they aren't. I can't be like sure that they aren't doing that, right? Jim Carrey Office. I want to find that scene. Not really the most important thing, right? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. Probably get in trouble just for showing this scene too.
I want the job. I really do. It's just the rest of my family's in the Finger Lakes right now. I'm supposed to be in the Finger Lakes right now. I told them I was on a hike, snuck away to do this interview. I got to get back pretty soon, don't worry. People disappear in the Finger Lakes.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I've been thinking about Jim Carrey a lot recently because of the whole potential murder story, right? We talked about that last week. Did you guys hear us? Yeah, this idea that he was maybe involved with the death of Charlie Rocket.
Is that his ex-wife?
No, Charlie Rocket's the dude from Dumb and Dumber. I just gonna keep bringing this story.
Oh
up.
yeah.
I just cannot stop bringing this story up. But yeah, just the idea that Charlie Rocket died in Connecticut with his throat slit. And then earlier in the same movie, Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey makes this reference about how, you know, they find the guy up the road with his throat slit. Right? How's it end? That whole thing. And this guy got the job that Jim Carrey wanted on Saturday Night Live. And then he died, and they say it was a suicide. And it's just like,
I've had a long running theory now that there's a significant overlap between serial killers and comedians, and it's manifested as the Joker in our mythos. But for a long
jester
time,
maxing, bro. That's what happens when you jester max too hard. You eventually
it's the killing joke, basically. The killing joke being that death is funny, so kill. You know, and that's sort of like the direction that comedy goes for people who are into absurdism and into pushing boundaries. Eventually, they start seeing people as jokes, and the punchline is, you know, death. And you know, I've seen things about what's his name, the short chubby guy there who looks like a frog. I always forget his name.
No, he's not short.
Which one?
I was thinking Shane Gillis, but he's not short at all.
No, Shane Gillis might be like a Down syndrome angel that like is secretly like literally like a divine. Anyway, no, I was thinking another guy. Oh, what's his name? Short, ugly comedian. That's so mean.
Looks like a frog.
Pardon?
David Spade's handsome in an ugly way, you know? Or ugly in a...
Hold on, I have a better way to look. Comedian whose wife was murdered. Oh, I'm getting a lot of Phil Hartman here. But no, that's not how I'm looking.
Phil Hartman was murdered by his wife. That's different.
His wife was killed too. I'm pretty sure that no, his wife was killed by Andy Dick, actually.
Dark.
Yeah, because Andy Dick, like I watched this thing about Andy Dick, like his spiral in drugs, just like he dragged down a whole bunch of people with him, and it was like really fucking bad.
Sad.
What's it?
Drugs are dangerous sometimes. I'm just trying to think of short comedians. Was it an dude?
He's still around. He's still active. His wife died.
Patrick Oswald?
Patton Oswalt. Yeah. She was researching a serial killer, and she ended up getting murdered. And apparently, there's a lot of clues suggesting that serial killer was actually his father, and that he helped silence her to cover this whole thing up. And there's some seriously fucked up weird things around this, and I don't want to really confirm that he did this, but yeah, Patton Oswalt, like he might be a serial killer, you know, like who knows? It might be like a hiding in plain sight sort of thing, you know, like where you just have these people who are like, well, he would never do that. He's a funny man, you know, he makes people laugh. He doesn't have a dark secret, you know.
Are you familiar with the Garth Brooks is a murderer conspiracy?
No, but you know, I think that they're all. Oh yeah, wait, I've heard of this one. Yeah, I was mixing him with Mel Brooks.
Yeah, no. Apparently, people go missing whenever Garth Brooks is touring, and right around the time that he is
right.
People will end up missing, and there's all these weird little interviews where Garth Brooks talks about how he wants to bring out his dark side. I think he had like some sort of like
his alter ego, Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, this was exposed. This was actually Tom Segura.
It's actually Vincent. No, I'm just kidding. That's mean.
It was Tom Segura that first put this theory that Garth Brooks is a serial killer out on the internet, and Tom Segura might be one of those cases of like, takes one to know one kind of thing.
Huh.
What do you think makes a good comedian?
Pain.
Timing.
Murder.
What? I'm sorry, you guys all talked at once. Like
Murder, timing, and I don't know what the other one was.
Timing. Wait, one more time.
Pain.
Oh, pain. Yeah. I think really depression.
I think the answer is just timing. I mean, there's probably more to it than that, but like if you look at a guy like Norm Macdonald, like he was about challenging the cultural norms around comedy, and he's timeless as a result, in a lot of
but
ways.
Also pain, like because he had cancer and he's always trying to deal with the fact that he's suffering. He wants to make people laugh before he dies. I feel like pain and depression is universal amongst all the comedians.
Well, I guess it's the capacity to transmute pain into laughter that is the defining trait of a comedian. And comedians help us. They help us process collective trauma with comedy, as well as normalize things out of the traumatic state. Like if you start making fun of a certain group of people, for example, like that's the first step towards normalizing them in culture, because it's the step out of not talking about them at all or only talking negative.
And see, kind of that is what drives me absolutely insane about the pedivore vampire thing. It's like the adrenochrome stuff. It's like, just have you tried skydiving? Have you tried actually doing something where your body will produce it? Or are you just that much of a coward that you have to put someone else through it to have a little taste?
It's not the same thing, though. Adrenochrome is not the same thing as adrenaline. Adrenochrome changes, and apparently it induces a sort of schizophrenic moment. So it has it has a psychedelic element to it, and this psychedelic element can be used in rituals. Like, think of it like a ritual to open the mouth of madness.
Yo, that's standard USO shit right there. All right, that's traditional. That's like military tradition.
I'm glad you understand. I was like, well, I wonder where the Koreans learned this from, right?
It's USO shit. It's standard.
Straight up World War
get,
II.
Get the boys all hopped up, hot and bothered before you send them out to kill people.
Fucking dumb as fuck.
That's how it's done.
This is so
yeah,
stupid.
but Koreans are prettier. So
well, all women are beautiful.
Isn't it like one of the plastic surgery centers of the world?
Yeah, she's probably like a meat puppet of some kind in the industry.
Probably some guy.
She's doing her rounds, just like doing pro bono as a lawyer. You got to fucking pay your dues, and then you get bigger opportunities.
If you love your country, you'll pay your rounds.
Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about the Team America. Team America has a pretty good print of how society is structured. Like, at some point, the guy's allegiances are tested, and what he has to do is he has to suck the dick of the general to prove that he's he's devoted to America and to doing what must be done, basically. And this is the sort of situation people find themselves in, where they're like, oh fuck, like, if I want to be part of this system and part of this world and high up in it, well, I got to suck some dicks once in a while. And then they start shitting on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah, like the Navy, man.
Oh, what's happening
Just
with that Navy mutiny where their toilets are backed up?
Just really quickly, like, you guys recognize that this strip show is happening in a church, right?
Goodness.
That's cool.
Wow.
I think that's probably the best part, I think. Because they love their country and they love God. That's what's cool about it.
See,
I think they love half naked women more.
You're asking where the naval what's it called? You said there was a rebellion, mutiny?
Yeah, I thought there's a bunch of guys stuck on a ship and their toilets are backed up, and I think they were starting to mutiny. We're bombarded with news, but I think I heard it mentioned a couple of times that there's some where the toilets are backed up and they've been broken for weeks, and they're not the seamen, the sailors, they're not happy about it.
I don't know. I'm looking for it. Designs, criticism. Okay, maybe. No, I don't know. It's not
Navy
it either.
Navy ship broken toilets, maybe? Not sure. I don't know.
Broken toilets. That seems like a really dangerous thing to look up on X. You never know what they're gonna do. 80% of the USS Gerald Ford toilets are broken. This is the United States' most powerful aircraft carrier, and it was disabled by toilets. No, that was 2023 though.
Huh.
Oh, that's horrible. I'm really glad I didn't show that picture, but they're just showing how bad the naval toilets are. 80%.
Now you have to show the picture.
You can't legally.
It can't be.
Yeah.
Can't be
Be
worse.
careful.
Cruise.
Can't be worse than like anything that they put on. Oh man, this is terrible. Whoa, why did you make me look that up? I don't
Well,
wanna
now
see
we gotta.
naval officers
Well, we
shit
can't see
everywhere.
it because it's censorship.
Just share it in chat.
You were just fresh spies.
I'll just make you guys all watch it, and you guys,
Okay.
the audience can watch the.
Look, I've seen enough
the
poop in my
cast.
life.
God, dude, it's terrible.
So, well, we were
worse
talking
'cause
about
it's
Team
naval.
America, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
worse because the Navy are probably gross, man.
Can you post that? Can you show that scene in Team America where the two puppets are having sex and then they start shitting on each other?
I don't know if that's allowed anymore. I think what's interesting is I was on YouTube the other day and it had a blur feature until I clicked unblur. So it knows how old I am and it's trying to. I think this is the positive side of the verification thing. Like they're like more interested in what they can get away with showing you, so they can study that you watch it. They're like, oh, you're a grown up, so we can show you like maybe like mutilated bodies or. Oh no. Okay. How about like pornographic like modeling pictures of like Polish teenagers? Oh no. Okay. We're just checking. Something about Google just wanting to know everything about what they can get you to see and just study, your after dark behavior. It's scary, man. Like I prefer the idea that you assume they're always watching you and you shouldn't be giving Google that information. There's like all these new devices that you check your internet level and it's like, why is this device sending 12 gigabytes all the time to there's no camera. There's a microphone and there's screenshots. So it's screenshotting everything you're doing. Anytime you change the picture you're looking at, like, you're on an app, you're on AliExpress or Alibaba or Facebook or whatever, they know you're buying something. They know you're playing a game. They know you're watching this YouTube video. And it just takes a photo of that and then maybe some background audio around that time and sends that to some server that they're recording everything you do. I mean, obviously you kind of already know that, but it's just interesting that they're collecting that data with AI so they can study you and see what your patterns are.
You know what? Speaking of patterns, I just noticed a pattern in like every fucking APM stream we do. It's like our conversation literally flows in this pattern where it's like at first we discuss a person or a people, and then those people are tied to events. So we start discussing the events, and then we start inevitably like going to the ideas that led to those events, and then we just restart, and then that's like the whole fucking 2 hours. We just keep doing that over and over again. Yeah, it works. It's fucking perfect. It's like the wave, and it just goes up and down.
Take
Great.
a thing and tear it apart until you find out what's making it happen. I think it's reasonable.
True
Instead
that,
of the
true that.
soldiers and a pretty woman dancing with her clothes on, in America, they would have been a drag queen story time and clothing would have been optional. I mean, I think that's true, actually.
Only in the
There are
Navy.
a lot of. The Navy's pretty gay. I'm not saying everybody in the Navy's gay.
It's a stereotype. That's how gay it is.
How are you supposed to get through the Navy?
I think it's really funny. Like when you put a bunch
a
of
little
dudes together, like in the military, for example, I think they purposely just do gay shit as like just as a joke. They're just like because they do plenty of gay stuff. Just it's fucking funny.
I think that it's part of war to be really gay. Like it's just part of war, and it's been part of war since like for thousands of years. The Romans were butt fucking. The Spartans were butt fucking. Like it's essential to having a unit that's actually unified. And I mean the whole Spartan upbringing shit. Like that stuff is fucking crazy, and it's probably the blueprint for the MK Ultra trauma programming that we see with children these days, because they really would traumatize these children into being warriors and create these killing machines,
Yeah.
Fucked up.
I mean, I like seeing on social media like a dude in South Korea in the military, and you see like an anime body pillow in his bunk. It's just funny shit because it's like such a juxtaposition to what I guess we're used to seeing you know,
Yeah.
with like traditional depictions of military dudes, and now you see like dudes bumping like Hatsune Miku while they're deployed overseas.
But
just
it's
funny
weird
shit.
because I don't know if the incentive's different. You know, like if you have anime girls as the motivation versus like, oh, we're fighting for the real women back. You know, like back in World War II, they look at a picture and be like, this is what we're fighting for, boys.
K-pop
now,
fans.
Now they look at a fucking anime girl and like on a pillow and they go like, is this what I'm dying for? Like really? Like and I don't know. I don't know if the motivate, like if you see a guy, what's scarier, you know, like a weeb on the battlefield? Or...
Well, I could imagine you take any given like kid now. It's like, remember what you're fighting for, boys. And then he's like, I have the best times just playing video games, watching anime with the buds, smoking some weed, you know, driving my sports car, and that's what they're gonna be into.
Yeah, but the military gives you, I mean, like most people got Americanized through their father or, you know, a person that was put through the military. Then the next generation was trained by the father who'd been trained by the military. And they're completely reverse engineered and hacked the human mind through the military. And we see it multiple times over in American history, like Korean War, World War II, Vietnam War. I mean, this changes your order, your system of order, how you organize yourself. I think that's probably the whole point of the military. And then I think it's interesting that the Navy is pretty gay, and the military conflicts that require more Navy, you'll hear more people talking about, oh, just pretend you're gay to get out of the military. It's like, well, are they doing that because they just want more naval officers? And they realized they could just draft you. You know, maybe the Army was less for it until like the last 15 or 20 years when they became basically a naval Army sea power.
Yeah, it's like you're a twink. You'll fit in a bunk on a submarine.
Yeah, I mean, even like Das Boat, like
is it the bottom?
The bottom of the sea. The bottom of the sea does sound like a great gay porn, doesn't it? Or like an adult.
The bottom, no, the bottom's bottom at the bottom of the sea. That's what it should be called.
That sounds like that's a little too Canadian, I think.
It's a mouthful.
Good one, Dad.
Oh my God.
If your dad's telling you those jokes, you know, get out of the house.
I was hoping I could find this one video, but I can't figure out where it is. But it's like footage of naval guys playing some weird on deck game where they're black and white. Yeah. Here's
what I propose to make the Army more efficient and to make squads more unified. So you have squads based on mutual fetishes, and then they all fetish together and their degeneracy, and then this creates unity in their squad, and then they become better soldiers. So you get like all the furries and you put them all together, and then you have a furry squad, and they're allowed to wear their uniforms on the battlefield if they want, you know. And so you send them out, and then they're all like fucking really into each other, and like, you know, they'll die for each other, because if they don't, then they lose a butt buddy, you know. So
I don't really like that. I like Starship Troopers better, you know, like co-ed everything, and they were just showering together and it was normal. I like that because they're warriors, and warrior culture, everyone's equal on the battlefield.
It's cool, except
it's not even true, though. It's not even true.
I get it's can I fucking kill you? Can I kill you or not? That's really what it comes.
It's like 1984. No, it's like Brave New World.
They're citizens, not warriors. Citizens. They're all
okay, but
citizens.
That's because they're facing mindless bugs. If they were facing other humans, and like, if you see,
but they're not facing. That's the difference. That's why they could do it, because they have a unified enemy.
I'm talking about reality here. So you get a bunch of furries and you send them out on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And then you have the other side that's going, holy fuck, like these weird dog people are attacking us.
No, because
they're all
of them went to.
They're all yelling like.
These are all Midwesterners who were in high school football teams that had furry mascots already. There's nothing new here. That's like the way sports have been. You've got Debbie Does Dallas, and then is there a movie about like a furry mascot? There must be. Has someone already
all
made
mascots
a furry
are
mascot?
I had
all mascots are furry.
Little pony adult spoof thing.
Wow.
Anyways,
a brony, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think the bronies are specifically like older unks. As
At this point, we used to be young, bro. Bronies
were anyone above the age of 15 who was a guy.
Wait, you had to be above 15? I think it was.
I don't know. I guess that's arbitrary. Anyone who's puberty.
Whenever dudes started watching the new My Little Pony that happened in probably 2007 to 2010, you had bronies, you know.
Let me. But about that show, like all this shit with the culture aside, like, is it actually a solid show? Like for a kid, even like, is it a good?
Apparently, you know, like it's got
bronies. All right, Weird Al Yankovic is in it. You know, yeah. People.
Apparently, but I mean, apparently it's got you know some of the quality of some of the better animated things from before, like Powerpuff Girls or whatever. But those things are like creepy pedo bait anyways. So like, I don't know if it's good, you know.
There isn't it's not like a Nickelodeon cartoon. You know what I mean? There's nothing crass. All the characters are very distinct from each other, and it's their differences that give them power, and all of their differences combined, you know, parts.
I will remind you that Avatar: The Last Airbender is a Nickelodeon show. So it's not all crass and vulgar. And
But they do cactus that one time in the desert, and there's some weird stuff. I mean,
look,
Filoni.
Adventure Time is Cartoon Network, and they mentioned DMT by name in the first episode. So
it's true, though. I feel like I was just thinking about this earlier today that Avatar: The Last Airbender is sort of a more tame and sterilized and like Baptist acceptable version of Dragon Ball. In Dragon Ball, there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening. The girls are trading sex with Master Roshi so they can advance their careers. And kids got like, you know, he's fishing with his monkey tail. He's pissing in the water. You know, it's a lot more free and liberated. There's something cool about Dragon Ball.
There was a lot of child dicks.
A lot of child dicks in Dragon Ball. It's true. But Avatar lacks that. Avatar is trying to be a socially acceptable thing, which is weird. Because it's ironic, because it's from Nickelodeon, you know.
But it also, look, I mean, Nickelodeon animation is a little different than Nickelodeon live action. Like, obviously, like there's a major difference because there's less children actually involved in Nickelodeon cartoons. So, I mean, I wouldn't really say the Dragon Ball and like that's true for all animes. All animes have like this sort of sexual twist to them somewhere, most, especially of that era. While Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think they set out with a mission, and it was clear what they wanted to do from the start, as opposed to Dragon Ball, where he was literally like improvising from week to week. Like they had a long-term plan, and they saw it through to the end. And it's basically like a perfect little self-contained story in that regard. While Dragon Ball is like, hey, look, we haven't shown you like Bulma's tits in like 30 pages. These are shonen. We got to keep the 12-year-old, 12, 13-year-olds. We got to keep their attention. You know, you got to show them some girls once in a while.
That's the way they should have done Avatar. Avatar would have been way better if they had some boobs. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
It's all about the age group that you're trying to attract, and I think
that's true. I guess they decided things are for kids now, and everything's for kids, and it's just
but kids things that are for kids are for kids. You know, like if you design something for kids, then it's designed for kids, you know, like, and if you're throwing in tits, then you're going, okay, well, this is for the adults or the perverts.
I think some kids shows do grow up with their audience though, like Naruto did. Because like in
Dragon Ball did. Dragon Ball Z. He literally did the entire life cycle from his infancy to his death, like multiple times. So it's like
I'm saying the themes actually got like from like something in Naruto was like a little more school childish, but then they actually went on to like full scale national war.
Sure, but I have to apply the same thing for Dragon Ball. Once he had his kid, it shifted to Dragon Ball Z, and then from then on, it was bigger scale conflict, more the risk got higher, and like, you know, it wasn't necessarily. I
don't think the themes necessarily got any more mature though. You know, from the get-go, it was what it was. Like people were killing each other. I don't know, man.
Shit. Look, I've read Dragon Ball. I've read all of Dragon Ball, and like for sure, this shit was super immature and childish at first. But I think Dragon Ball is a comedy series at its core. Like it's one.
Is her name Bulma because of like bulimia, or is it just because?
She seems pretty thick to be bulimic.
Yeah, true. At that point, she wasn't that thick in the first episode. So.
That's clearly fan art. You know?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not real. It's not canon.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not named after like a vegetable or anything. So,
but you know, just one final thing. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender is a coming of age story. It's about growing up. It's about accepting the responsibilities you have to face in the world, while Dragon Ball is more like eventually he just kind of goes like, okay, well now I'm the guardian of the earth because like I'm the strongest. But Avatar: The Last Airbender is like some kid. He's just some kid who's literally faced with like geopolitical threats, world-changing threats, you know?
Dude. And Bulma's constantly trying to like promise her sexuality in exchange for things, and this little kid, you know, Goku doesn't give a damn. He's not like into it. He's like, "Well, will you stop thrusting that upon me?" Which is nice because I think it's not as improvisational as you think. Improvised. It's more they're trying to come up with the zeitgeist as to how to tell the story, because there is this overlying kind of Monkey King, Monkey King thing, but he's trying to do it like what's going on in the real world this week.
It's
so that
ancient,
I can relate it.
It's ancient aliens journey to the west, basically. God is a reptilian shape-shifting vegetable alien
with dragon balls, big dragon balls.
Like sorry, Andrew, you were saying you were gonna say.
I was saying you got to collect all the balls to make your wish. It's like a gym.
So it's about like your sexual energy that you have to collect your sexual energy, your 7 chakras. You have to collect them so that your kundalini can rise and you get a wish.
Yeah, you get to manifest something into reality
within the rules. I don't know. I still prefer Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mean, I love Dragon Ball, but like that one, it's the sort of art piece that shapes people for the rest of their years. And when it comes to using sexuality in media, it becomes sort of a cheap trick. You know, like you go like, look, there's nudity. Some kid is going to get his first wank off of this, and it's going to bind with him for the rest of his years. You know.
Magic,
right? It is sex magic, and there's an aspect to all of this that is grooming, because what you expose children to will shape them, and if you don't have any semblance of sexuality in there, they're just gonna bind their sexuality to whatever's there, and so that's how you get people who become bronies and shit, because they're like, well, look at these anthropomorphic, ponies. Well, I don't know. I don't have real human references. I don't have any even fictional human references. Therefore, I'm going to shape my sexuality around these social settings and these cultural inputs, And the same happens for people who become, anime, hentai obsessed, and they can't interact with real women. It's completely controlled, culturally conditioned. Like, you can't have that sort of sexuality without the culture,
I liked Undressed on MTV. That was a really good show. I mean,
I don't know what that is. It's when people they go on dates naked or something.
Dude, so like it's like a Canadian show. Obviously, it has to be because it you can just tell it's like Nova Scotia or something like that. And it's about like young people that are coming to terms with their sexuality, or it's the Degrassi for MTV in some ways. It's just a hyper-sexed show, hence the word undress, and the symbol was like an undressed banana peel. It had all the MTV music, so it had perfect zeitgeist at the time. But it was weird, man. It was like gays and straights, and there's this episode where this dude's coming home from a birthday party, and he's living in his apartment building, and he works at the birthday parties, and he has to dress as like a Power Ranger sometimes or whatever. But this time he comes home not as Captain Hook, but as a panda bear. And usually the girl that lives in the building doesn't care at all. Like, she just ignores him. She's too pretty for him. But this time she sees the panda bear and she's into the panda bear. You know what I mean? Because she's into furry stuff.
She's pandasexual.
Yeah, and he finds this out. So now he's trying to get with this girl and she's super into it. But then he comes into the next day dressed as like a leather daddy, like wearing like leather stuff. And she's like, oh, no, I don't. I'm only into the panda. I'm into you as a panda. That's like, I'm not into other things than that. And he really likes this girl, so he's down to always dress like a panda for her. But at the same time, he wants to try other things. And so the compromise is that he can dress as a leather daddy panda because he can put on all the outfit on top of the panda outfit, and then he can punish her as like leather daddy bad panda. And that's okay. She's willing to give him that as long as she can still have the panda. Undressed on MTV, right? That is the show, basically.
You guys remember Drawn Together?
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, loved it.
How about the one when I was growing up was undergrads.
Dude, undergrads. So come and talk to me on my computer screen. The best
So
days of our
that
lives
was-
aren't as easy as they seem.
Simple Plan did this theme song, yeah.
Good Charlotte.
Oh, Good Charlotte, yeah. Oh, fuck,
Good
that's
Charlotte.
terrible. Sorry.
Yeah, guys.
And the other one was Clone High.
Clone High. Way back in the 1980s, secret government employees dug up famous guys and ladies and made them using genetic copies. Now their clones are sexy teens and they're gonna make it if they try. Learning, loving, sharing. Now it's time to watch Clone High. Yeah,
I think that shit was based on real, like, I'm a strong believer that fiction holds key
do you know
to
that
reality.
Clone High nearly got like the producer of Viacom MTV killed in India? Because like they were in India and there was a riot because someone saw the Gandhi was part of the look at this, America, they're mocking us, making a Gandhi, and a bunch of Indians apparently decided they were gonna like kill the guy unless he promised to never air Gandhi on MTV anymore. And so he like signed something, got out of the building. He's like, whoa, I'm never going back to India. What the hell? And B, we're going to cut Gandhi out of the show, which I'm pretty sure ruins the show.
It's only
Crazy, really. It's just like Mohammed. Like,
if only they knew how shitty Gandhi was, right? Like Gandhi.
If only they knew how good Clone High was.
That's true. Way better than Gandhi. Like Gandhi hurt kids. What did you say? Sorry, Andrew.
Wasn't Gandhi in the Epstein files?
Basically.
No, that was Mother Teresa.
No, dude, they're both like, yeah, like there's a reason why in South Park they're both in hell. Like, let's be honest. South Park is not making people who laugh don't understand that they have more context than you. So they're always explaining, and if you see them in hell, you should assume it's not a joke. Like they literally know that these people were evil and it did horrible things. Gandhi was, totally doing this thing where he tested himself for restraint by sleeping with like young teenage girls, like with like
laying down next to them so that to see if he could conquer urges and
he's like, whoops, I guess I didn't conquer it yet. And then just like he's
I failed you.
And 45 kids. What am I supposed to? Then he reached enlightenment.
Yeah, sorry anybody who loves Gandhi, but yeah, he's basically the worst thing that ever happened to India. He helped the British. Everyone doesn't understand the inversion of this, that basically India became enslaved to the British Empire in a full new corporatarchy way because of Gandhi.
Like protest through passiveness.
Dude, and he's such a sham because he talks with an Indian accent, but you see he started out with like a British education in South Africa. He was totally an Anglophile. He was trying to be British. He's like a spy for the Queen. The whole thing, dude. Oh, Gandhi drives me crazy. Sorry. Thank you for making me feel better.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of basically any public figure that is presented as like, the paragon of virtue or of goodness. Automatically I go like that's suspicious, and that makes me worried about Keanu Reeves in a lot of ways. But I don't know. I hope.
What do you think about Keanu Reeves' pregnant girlfriend who passed away, right? I'm not allowed to talk about it? Do you feel bad? I mean, like, it's weird because I'll talk about anything, but there's certain people I feel like, am I destroying someone's happiness by, like, I mean, obviously it's it's not anyone has any privacy.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know, like there's too many details and life gets messy. Like some people die.
Yeah, in like horrible drugged out car accidents with Marilyn Manson.
I blame Marilyn Manson.
Rough. Yeah,
I imagine so is Keanu, right? I mean,
poor guy.
Imagine Marilyn Manson was rescuing her away from the evil Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
I think there's nothing good about Marilyn Manson in my opinion.
Have you got objectively, but have you guys heard about the new that Michael Jackson has been vindicated? I know you're gonna love this, Andreas.
Thank God, finally. It's been too long.
Because Macaulay really had his back. Like Neverland Ranch was there to save kids from the island because it was Neverland. It's never going to happen there. Like, and then going after him was just, it's the Kanye thing all over again.
Totally. Once he started going after like the record producers involved with Epstein, like the Sony, DS, right?
Yeah.
Tom Sniden is a bad man. That whole
I
thing.
think people should they should also look towards like adoption agencies, right? Because there's been like a huge sordid history that went into like, you know, American politics, probably on a federal state level or whatever, where people were inserting themselves into areas where they could pretty much buy babies. And the idea was they could distribute like the best of the litter to like rich families who just wanted kids. But even then, that's like a little.
All places that are designed to have access to children are automatically targeted by pedophile systems. Like, it's automatic. They can't not. Why would they not do it? That's their entire thing. So like, obviously they'll go to church, they'll go to school, they'll go to adoption agencies, they'll go to abortion clinics, they'll go to hospitals, they'll steal babies out of cribs, you know, like,
yeah, I mean, doesn't that also make more sense, like, as to like be easier to get away with, like, instead of stealing someone's kid who's like they're committed to raising already, like they'll insert themselves in institutions where it's like, hey, people don't want these babies for whatever reason, you know, maybe they're like refugees or whatever.
It's like a vampire at a blood bank, you know, like, for sure, if vampires are real, for sure they work at blood banks. Like, why would you not, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I just realized that that's, you know, that song DS that, you know, Tom Snedden is a cold man, where Michael Jackson's talking about the allegations against him being false. This is one of my favorite songs by Michael Jackson. Anyway, that Thomas Snedden Jr. was the 33rd district attorney of Santa Barbara. The 33rd. Wow. That's pretty good.
Speaking of 33rd and child trafficking and stuff, the Shriners, you know, it's like they have the Shriner Hospital. And I think that's where the split happens, as far as like who's following who in Freemasonry. But because it's like on the surface, Shriner Hospital is great, you know, kids who need like, you know, prosthetic limbs and any sort of like medical attention, they have these Shriner hospitals. But also, you know, it's like, hey, come drive in my little car while I wear my fez hat.
Look, the first time that I ever heard someone call themselves a Satanist sincerely, like fully 100% serious, was a Shriner. And he was just like, yeah, of course, you know, of course, Satan's a great, you know, he was, as if it was just normal, as if it was just part of just his beliefs that, like, yeah, of course, everyone believes this, you know, because he was in an echo chamber of that. And I don't know, all these things.
Yeah, first time I was with a Boy Scout, and it was like, I think he was probably like 12 to 14. He must have been like 14. And his whole family were all Satanists, but they were like part of Ave Satana. They weren't part of the LaVeyan Church of Satan. But they were talking about how their family had been Satanists or really pagans forever. And that that they came to America, they loved America, they were patriots of America, they would fight in any war to protect their right to become like gods and to like worship the devil or not even to worship the devil, but just, that's the thing. It's super weird when people ask what they mean by their definition of being a Satanist. Do they believe in the devil? Do they believe that they're in this Promethean character who's trying to help them? Or do they believe that, you know, they just need to be oppositional to the Christian thing? But
Satanism and Luciferianism are distinct, aren't they?
They have a significant overlap, but it's like, it's like saying LaVeyan Satanism isn't the same thing as Satanism. Sure, but there's an overlap, of course.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't believe in religion become Satanist as a reaction to Christianity. That's like the Church of Satan and the Temple of Satan or whatever. You know, because there's the LaVeyan Satanism, and then there's that new one out of Texas that's been around for like 10 years. That's the new Satanic Church.
Yeah.
I think the main calling card would have to be like what they actually do in rituals, right? Because like the significant part, like the accounts that you get would be from survivors of SRA, the satanic ritual abuse. And they're the ones who report like all this shit that you don't want to believe is actually real. Like you don't want to believe they're putting like children through like breeding programs and like cage fights to the death, and they're being harvested for like traces of, I don't know, like King Solomon's blood lineage or something in your bloodline.
Which I'm pretty convinced the Satanic Temple does not do. They just seem like this group of people hate that their parents were Christians in Texas. Yeah. So they basically all are trying to be reactionary and look like Adam's family.
The thing is that the like that's the lower level people, but the people who are actually at the top of these religions, like they're full on real Satanists.
But so it's the same thing with Catholicism then, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it's true for all religions. It's true for all religions. Like these are the Muggle class, and then you have the real wizards at the top, basically.
Dude.
But if it's also so embedded in like our culture, like so far back to like, I don't know, where you acknowledge that Christmas is very in line with like Saturnalia, which is also like a very ritualistic time. And apparently a lot of ritual bait, we're not going to call them just Satanists, but a lot of like ritualistic groups, like they'll be very active around that time, like during the solstice festivals and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about Satanism is, like a lot of other religions, is it hijacks everything it can. So anything that it likes, it goes, that's mine now. And like, that's part of my doctrine. And like, you know, like, sure, it was part of that other thing now, but like now it's mine and I'm just going to say it's mine. And so everyone just goes, oh, like that's Satan, that's satanic because Satanists have appropriated it. But then you go, okay, well, maybe not, like they don't get like every pagan holiday ever. You know, like paganism is a general term that's used to encompass so many different mythologies and practices. And then Satanism just kind of puts it all under one umbrella, and just like Christians do, you know, and it's a shame. It's a shame, but that's the way it works.
Well, speaking of co-opting stuff from other religions, what do y'all think about Jeffrey Epstein using the cloth rugs that would cover that cube in Mecca as just like floor rugs in his various properties?
It's a magic thing. It's part of rituals. Like, clearly, you don't do this stuff unless you have some sort of penchant for some form of mysticism or magic or warlockery. You know, like it's impossible. Why the fuck would you go and do that otherwise? There's no reason.
Just to flex on haters, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but that flex does something.
I mean, they have a temple, you know, like they're clearly trying to do something at the temple, right? And so,
But
you know, maybe
I'm digging a little bit deeper than that. It's almost like how the cross might truly even be a symbol that is mocking Christ, and
Sure.
like all version within these churches that are masquerading as one thing, but really underneath the surface. Because that's kind of what we're talking about.
But
here.
it's not just symbolic. Like there's purely mechanical functions to what like the shit that Epstein was doing. There was a really good interview between Eric Weinstein and Jesse Mitchells or whatever. He's like this American alchemy UFO guy, and it was really interesting watching him talk about like UFO shit. But apparently, like this Weinstein, he's a physicist. He met like Epstein briefly once, and like the way they talked about what they were doing, it's like, what is like mechanically these pedophilia rituals, like what are they really like as a product? It's trust. You know, if you have people at the highest levels like who want to like basically work together in cahoots to control shit, well, they have to like be able to trust each other, and the best way to trust each other is to do unspeakable taboo shit and say, this is mutually assured destruction now, like we're in this, like you know, regardless of what your religious beliefs are on it, like the fact that you did this in the world we live in, if I go down, you go down. You know, it's like maybe this is like they all have each other at gunpoint. Maybe Trump's involved, you know, like Bill Clinton included, you know, all Bill Gates, all of them, maybe they all have like guns to each other's heads like that, you know?
Yeah. You know, you don't get to that position of power without leverage. It's impossible. Yeah. Like, it's literally impossible. They'll just kill you otherwise. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, the symbolic shit probably does matter, because that is very involved with like influencing people to get into it. You know, you believe in a higher power, right? You believe in magic and shit. Yeah.
Well, you know, like there's an aspect of this that is like technological. Like there's the magic is a form of technology, ritual is a form of technology, and the goal is to get a certain outcome, of course. But in that process, it affects the psyche, it affects consciousness. So no matter what, let's say you're doing a ritual and you have it all organized, you have this unifying psychological aspect to it where everyone involved is now binded by this unifying thing.
Unspeakable acts.
Yeah, and you know, that's like a camaraderie, but at the same time, it's like a co-sin sort of thing. You know, like you have, if someone sins, then they want others to share in their shame and in their debauchery, so that they can feel more justified.
Number one, it's a blood pact in every sense of the word, you're saying, and number two, it's crazier for them because we're talking about like billionaires in the same room doing this shit. Like they could literally move worlds if they wanted to. You know.
It's also, I think, a power dynamics thing where like they reinforce, like, you know, if you have like the cremation of care, Like, what does that mean? What does it mean to cremate your care? Well, I think that the goal is to numb it so that you don't have it anymore, and that you don't care about the harm you're doing to the world around you, because you've done this ritual of cremating that, you know, and it becomes you become part of the hive. Yeah, burn it or kill it. But you become part of the hive once you do something that is so horrific with other people, you all fall into like this sort of matrix together of like we're like a hive mind of co-sin, where it's just like, oh, you did this thing, well, I've got your back and you've got my back, and we can both like make each other crumble at any
But functionally in society, the trade-off is like, yeah, they're now at the peaks of evil, but like they look at us, like rightfully so in a lot of ways, like as cattle. You know, at that point, we're serving the institutions that they gain control over, that, you know, they're all, again, like connected with these unspeakable acts with, and there's tangible power in that. And that's used against us like every day. That's why our lives are such shit for, you know, like in a lot of ways.
Did you guys hear or see Hillary Clinton's deposition?
Yeah.
I mean, how much was shown? Was the whole thing shown? I just saw like a few clips of her like quitting.
The F word in court. She said it. The cross-examining lady said frazzled. She asked Hillary Clinton to her face.
Yeah, she heard a frazzled drip. What I found funny is they presented new evidence, and then they faked being mad because they hadn't seen the evidence yet. And then they were like, you know, like she stamped her hand down on the table, like, oh, I can't believe this. It was so fucking stupid.
In a folder that was titled,
she looks incredulous.
Insurance, life insurance, with a zip file titled Frazzle.
She knows what's coming. You can tell she's like doing that like fake smile, like ready to smile thing.
Ruling. Zip file titled Frazzle.
I'm getting frazzled right now, bitch.
Put the face
you
on.
hear this child screaming, and they take off the face, and Hillary Clinton puts it on her face and goes to the child. And you see the child, it's all flesh, and then the eyes.
Okay, we know what happened. Where's your response, lady?
Mr. Chairman, based on what you said in the public hearing, is this within the scope? Mr. Chairman, is this within the scope?
Off the record.
Off the record. What? So wait, did she say more? Did you see more than that? Is there more that she said?
There's more to it, of course, but they
uttered it.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of her responding about Frazzle Trip.
It's crazy because you know, like the truth is so insane that it can drive people insane, and then once they try to go and tell other people, they just get dismissed as insane, and it's just it's like an endless pursuit of like this cat and mouse for evidence and proof, and it never comes.
Well, my solution was never to fight them. I don't want to fight them. Like for me, I think I have to fight the parts of me that makes me vulnerable to them, because that's like really how they get us, right? They're not really upfront about it. They leverage like perfectly natural parts of us, like our sexuality, our eating habits or whatever, and they turn that and flip that around to like really mess us up.
Like if what you end off is as passive, as long as you're passive in not getting in their way, then they don't give a fuck what you do. You can go and find enlightenment if you want. They don't give a fuck as long as you're not saving everyone else. So yeah, save yourself if you want. You know, like go for it. But the rest will just be left behind without anyone helping them. And
I think there's some dark agents out there, though. If you do prove to be a threat just from existing, I guess like the first step is to try to corrupt you. I mean, that's what intelligence agencies do. They try to sway you with what you want first. They're not trying to put a black bag over your head all the time. That's like resource extensive.
And that's why media intelligentsia are all full of fetishists and drug addicts, because you know it's a safe, reliable, easy way to control people, and you have to make sure you can control the kind of people that you're going to put in front of camera, because the entire idea of Hollywood and celebrity is to create a synthetic alternative to intelligentsia. You've had royals, elite, priests, you know, throughout time. These groups can control a society, right? Here you've got a fake intelligentsia that are the celebrity, and you give them lines to say, and they're able to do exactly what you want.
Yeah.
I miss you, Trevor Moore.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about Trevor Moore. I've been watching some Wise Kids You Know recently as well. Just going back and checking it out. Oh
Yeah,
man.
my computer became self-aware. Still plays loud in my house, in my car.
I mean, like, it is something that no one. I mean, I think there was just so much going on with Epstein's death and everything else that, right after Epstein died is when he fell off his balcony on his head, and it seems like no one ever really covered it really deeply. We just sort of assumed
Whoa,
the worst and left it. I mean, how many people have really investigated it, right?
Well, I heard from the other Whitest Kids You Know that he died trying to suck his own dick. So I don't know. I'm having conflicting.
That's the thing. The entire crew just made this like. I mean, that didn't make me feel like. I don't know, man.
What, they killed him?
I mean,
they made Chester Bennington.
I think the other ones have. Did he have kids? I know the other ones do.
I think he had kids.
Oh.
I think he did.
Probably. Trevor Moore fucked around, probably.
He had a wife, and I think he had kids.
Well, he should have had at least one gun per child.
Fair.
That's like my rule.
But you got to arm your children.
I actually didn't have my kid gun just like for, training purposes. I got some targets set up in the backyard.
And do your kids hold them up?
Even if they did, I'm a dead eye.
Fuck, man.
My targets are like 5x5. I ping them every time.
Poor Trevor Moore. Alcohol.
It's hard to believe. Can you really believe that I mean,
you know that song, I think it was Taking Acid in Church?
Yeah. I'm high in church. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason they give you alcohol in church.
I just don't buy it. I just don't buy that he fell off his balcony. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, it's just unbelievable.
There's a lot of deaths by balcony that,
Death by Balcony sounds like a cool band name or something.
Death by balcony is a common death, suspicious death, mysterious death. Like, it's so common that you just have, some random person who was doing this thing died.
Trevor Moore's wife. Trevor Moore was survived by wife Amy Carlson, former Marvel TV executive, Disney Marvel TV, who now works for Seth MacFarlane's production company.
Interesting.
Oh, she's a Fed for sure.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Maybe.
Yeah. She's probably well fed with all that Trevor Moore money. Well fed. That's a bummer, dude. That's crazy. Oh. Yeah.
About my wife for a hot second.
Everyone's suspicious.
I wouldn't be surprised. She seems like she could be like pretty good at karate.
Wait. One thing first. You better transvestigate her first, and then you can see if she's a CIA.
She's had a number of kids, so that worked out. I think that.
No. The trans people are getting advanced now, so you gotta double check. Wait, check if she has a prostate.
He was the one who had to check me, dude. I'm constantly getting that's why I grow this shit out, bro. I'm mistaken for a woman.
Oh, I thought she checked your prostate. Okay.
Nah, I'm not really into that.
Well,
I'm out there.
I think that there's a line of paranoia, and if someone comes to you after your success, after your, say, popularity rising, then you can be a little suspicious.
Yeah, no.
Especially if they have former ties with the military, with CIA. Like if you're getting Erica Kirk, see it coming,
Gosh. Yeah, no. Her dad was dishonorably discharged, so
that's how they get you. Oh no! I'm not a CIA. I'm dishonorably discharged. Don't worry. It's all going undercover.
She can't fight. Well, she could. I don't know. She hasn't.
Come on, Mr. and Mr. Smith. Like, what if your wife is a secret agent? I'm more worried about my girlfriend being an alien. But it's not worry. It's more like I hope.
She's a really good shot, and it's only because she plays Red Dead so much. I was like, okay, so you know how you line your sights up in Red Dead? It's just like that. Anyhow.
So she convinced you. So she's a Mossad agent who knows Krav Maga and convinced you that you taught her how to shoot with the video game. Dang, I never thought about that. But yeah, you have a pretty good handler. That makes a lot of sense. I never thought.
No, it does. I got whipped right into shape.
Yeah, I had a few handlers, but none of them could handle me, so they all fucking left.
Love handlers.
These guys are driving me crazy.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not accusing Trevor Moore's wife of being his handler. I'm not doing that. I don't really see like what's the point and not anymore. Just do what you want to do. But yeah, it seems kind of something like we need more information about is Trevor Moore's life. I really want to know more about like what he was up to. I didn't watch every podcast he was doing at that time. I saw like one thing he was talking about, and he brought up a bunch of interesting things, like the idea that Epstein had a canary in a coal mine vaccine virus, right? And that he predicted that COVID was the, Epstein's virus or something that he released if he ever got arrested. And after that, he dies, and it's like, okay,
the dead man switch, yeah. But
yeah,
it would have to actually be dead, right? I don't know. Who knows?
not necessarily. Maybe he just wanted to protect himself, and this is like the way this. The new thing is obviously they're like going back and looking at all the security guards' internet records, their search records, and how like 4 or 5 minutes before he died, she Googled Epstein's name, right? Search history, Epstein guards, something like that.
Someone in the chat said that like I'm the only one who's probably not a Fed.
That's because they're racist.
The commenter believes they're the only one who's not a Fed left. All right. Well, then get a job. What can I say? So
what am I? Am I a Mountie?
You're a freaking RCMP.
Am I a Mountie? Like I didn't know, bro.
You're a Mountie, bud.
I don't think you could be a Mountie with the things I do.
You'd be surprised. Every movie I've ever seen about police agencies or intelligence agencies, they're doing worse stuff than you're doing by a long shot.
No, you're right, but
isn't there like a Mormon to CIA pipeline? Am I tripping? Isn't that like a thing?
Allegedly, I think that it's really the other way around. It's CIA into Mormons. Like they've been taking over Utah for the last 100 years.
Look, the truth is, it's CIA into everything. They're an intelligence agency. They deal with all intelligence. So it's not. Yeah. They'll infiltrate Christians. They'll infiltrate Jewish groups. They'll infiltrate Black Israelites. They'll infiltrate Nazis, Ku Klux. They'll infiltrate everyone.
Yeah, like the mafia is a perfect example. They infiltrated the mafia and took over the mafia, and now the CIA owns Las Vegas, for instance.
I think that all people that are kind of there's a squares to CIA pipeline. So people who are fucking squares, they are like golden for CIA. It's like, oh, you barely have a personality? Come on in,
So prison guards Googled that Jeffrey Epstein minutes before his body was found and deposited thousands days before deposited thousands of dollars days before the pedophile suicide. See, they call him the pedophile. All right, it's more suspicious. Criminal charge against Knoll and other guards were dropped in December 2021 by a federal judge. So there's footage of it where she's inside the security room, and Epstein dies in the other room. She's like less than 2 or 3 meters away from him. It keeps flashing because it wants me to pay them, and I keep blocking it because I'm mad. But isn't that crazy? Like that while he's dying, this lady's looking him up. Either she's like a psychic or something. But what is she looking him up for? And she deposited tons of money. She's probably just checking to make sure that the money she got paid to switch his body was worth it. It was real. That he was legit. I don't know, something like that.
Probably you gotta be sure,
Instead of it takes a village, it takes an island. Jeez. Did you see Bill Clinton banging into Hillary Clinton walking around? Where was it? It was just today. Here, check this out. Sound not so loud there. Check this out. So he looks like he's on drugs that you can't buy anymore. And he's just banging into things like, oh, hey, oh. She's like, whoa, careful. Don't push me into traffic.
Well, they're on them special presidential drugs,
He's clapping. I don't know. He just doesn't he look like super high?
Oh yeah, he's still got some Quaaludes left.
He's got like AMT, Quaaludes, methoxetamine, all the cool drugs. It looks like he's getting to have a lot of fun.
Look how frail he is now. I bet he can play saxophone.
Well, when they started talking about him being instigator,
his 80s now?
In 2016, maybe. I don't think so. Like Bill Clinton, age, isn't he like 79? He's almost 80, but he's 79. But he, in 2016, I think became a vegetarian, or at least when they started asking him, or people started accusing him on the internet of being a Pizzagator, adrenochrome, cannibal. When they said he was a cannibal, that's basically when he started saying he was a vegetarian. And I felt like that was his way of,
Pizza's vegetarian.
I'm a vegetarian now.
And he likes, he doesn't mind animal byproducts, so.
He had heart problems in the 1990s. Yeah, because he ate hearts. No, I'm not saying he ate hearts. You can't do that.
Whoa, how do you know?
He was the
I can't be sure he didn't.
President.
I don't know. The whole thing, dude. The guy just looks like completely out of his freaking mind. Hillary Clinton looks totally. This whole scene here. Just don't push me into traffic. Like, I can't believe she did that. Are they saying something? Is it completely an accident? I just don't know anymore. Well, okay, hold on, because we've been just ranting for a while about nonsense. But Chris, what have you been up to this week?
This week?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just catching up with stuff because last week was I just had that whole sword test to deal with, the sensei test. And I passed that. And now I'm just finally like making music again, working on the podcast, kind of trying to get the stream thing going, helping Vincent with his streaming. And,
you've been talking about the music you've been making. So you've been making stems from the different like drum and bass tracks, basically, or EDM, IDM tracks that you've been making.
There's nothing intelligent about it. It's just, I guess it's just dance music, but it's
AIDM, you can call it.
The only difference is it's like I have like a whole studio's worth of talent now just at my command. For a lot of people, it's like, well, all right, what are you going to do with that now? Now that you don't have like restrictions to hide behind, it's like, are you telling me you're really going to make something derivative of like shit that, it's just like that you're supposed to copy like what analog instruments, or are you going to like make shit like maximalist stuff that's going to really tweak people in ways that, people don't really acknowledge, on a surface level. And also, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I guess this is a more honest way to use AI music. I'll use it to make electronic music. I'll use the robots to make robot music. Like, why not?
Dude, I mean, it's the only thing you can do is like use it to make what you want to make. I want to interface Claude with my GitHub forks, because I basically fork every project that I like. I like this guy here. He said, dude, I'm crying. I put a Halo ISO in a folder and told Codex to make it playable on Mac. I left it running and I got jump scared by suddenly hearing Halo music blasting out of my speakers. Like it decrypted. It's starting to begin to decrypt the game. This is what's going on now, man, that you're going to be able to port binaries from games directly into your own language on your own system. Like this is beyond emulators, right? And it's just so cool that you can just tell it, hey, give me all the information, like improve this code line string, or go to this GitHub and like improve, like fork all of these projects, pick one and start working on it. You're able to make the world better all the time. Meanwhile, people are upset. They're like, oh no, it's all a bunch of AI slop, but that's pretty sweet.
I think the main problem with AI is that our culture isn't actually designed for it. Like we're an antiquated dinosaur culture, and then we have this ultra tech that could make it all obsolete. But we're going, no. We just have to make an AI that fits into this obsolete system instead of letting AI really transform society and humanity. And so people are going, it's incompatible with what I'm trying to do in my life, because I'm trying to make the capitalist shit work and going to become a successful whatever it is. But then AI will just come in and make your entire process that you were building up to kind of obsolete. And you could have it much better if you were to use AI, but then it would devalue everything you're creating because everyone else is creating too. it's an economic mess. And
What's wrong with adapting though? Isn't that a part of cultural evolution? Is to kind
what
of
I'm saying
adapt
is it's not adapting, it's being neutered to fit into capitalism.
No, I'm saying why wouldn't the artists, like why shouldn't the artists themselves adapt to a new reality if the reality is presenting itself?
Because AI is incompatible with capitalism as a structure. Because AI can do things that make the pillars that uphold our civilization obsolete. Like cheap labor, who needs that? Well, what do you need with all these humans then?
Yeah, but then what does that have to do with really art? Because like plenty of people make art without making money on it. You know, it's not completely.
Yeah. But people are trying to make a living off their art in capitalism, even if it's super hard.
Well, that's a new idea, right? Like, it's not very common for people to be artists trying to make money off their art. You could be an artisan, and you would be paid commission to do art for a company or a church or something. Then maybe the Canadian government needs a mural done, so they'll pay you, an artist, to do that, but not because you're an artist, not because you're creative. They don't care about that. They want you to perform a technical skill for them.
Yeah,
that's what artists used to do. And then eventually people thought this idea of, wow, people, they're gonna love my art because I love their art, because they have this idea about a corporate product, which was a band designed to be simple. So, you have a group of 3 or 4 guys who don't know how to play their instruments, and you make them famous so you can write the songs for them. But it reflects back on the audience. Like, wow, that guy's an idiot. I'm an idiot. They don't know how to play their guitar. I don't even know how to sing or play the guitar. I could be famous. He has great ideas. People love his ideas. People might love my ideas. That's, I feel like,
most of the people I know who criticize AI and who don't like AI used in these different industries are the people.
Self-important douchebags.
The main argument is that it's taking away jobs from real artists and from real people, and that points to an issue with the structure of our civilization that's incompatible with this new technology. Because we're making all these people who dedicated decades of their lives to their craft.
Ellen DeGeneres is obsolete, right? You're gonna make P. Diddy extinct.
That's the thing, but the thing is that those people were upheld by artificial systems that don't actually warrant their fame. Like, Ellen DeGeneres is a boring ass comedian.
That's not true. Well, I mean, to be fair, like as evil as the guy was, being a project manager is fucking difficult. Like, to make all those moving pieces that are people essentially with their own problems, with their own shit and their own idiosyncrasies, to align them, whether you force them, whether you have really good incentive, whatever, to make that work is actually really fucking difficult.
But it's a lot easier if you make shitty art and shitty music that is only good for profit, and that's what he made. And real artists, they just went in there and then they got raped up the ass, and then they had to bend the knee to him or fuck off forever or die. And so, like, these people are gatekeepers for this corrupt system that is obsolete.
Yeah, but what Andreas is saying is we don't have to rely on said gatekeepers anymore, because everyone can have their own studios let people go through this wave of let these people go through their wave of fucking making slop. So what? Because like people are, let them go through that. It's part of the growing pains of creativity, right? You go through a bunch of garbage, go through a bunch of shit.
Just look at regular art, non-AI art, mostly shit. And you have, it's funny to me that the main criticism with like visual art for a long time was that like AI couldn't make hands. And I'm like, most artists I know are fucking, they hate drawing hands. It's like the hardest thing to draw.
Hey, who's that one comic book artist that like famously gets proportions wrong and can't draw feet?
Oh, he was referenced in the Deadpool movie. What's his name? That's
not Alex Mack.
Not Alex. Not Alex
David
Ross.
Mack.
Not Alex Ross. I promise.
David Mack.
Yeah. It's Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
It's funny because I look at some of these things and then I go, why am I like, why do I hesitate as an artist? I'm like, my stuff's not good enough. And then I look at their shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Rob Liefeld.
Liefeld did some good stuff though, because didn't he do wasn't he in part of Image Comics or something? Yeah. He did Marvel. He saved Marvel in the day because he made so much art.
No, that's Todd McFarlane.
They worked together for a hot second.
Yeah, but Todd McFarlane made Image. creator of Spawn and Venom there.
Yeah.
Harlan's objectively the better artist.
But he did work for Image as well. I don't know if he created it.
Yeah, he's a co-founder of Image Comics, right?
Rob Liefeld is the co-creator of Deadpool, Cable, and some other people that no one cares.
God, speaking of like gay warriors, like how come it's only cool when Deadpool acts fruity and wears a mask?
Because he's
self-aware.
Because he's insane.
Doesn't he get like pegged in the Disney Deadpool movie? Like, so he's so much more
on
self-aware.
International Women's Day.
Yeah,
he gets pegged during International Women's
That was
Day.
before it was Disney.
But to be Deadpool is a meta modern character. Like he's meant to be like he's meant to be a deconstruction, but also a reconstruction and an affirmation that things do matter. Like he'll come and talk directly to the audience, be like, "Hey, we're in a silly story, ha ha ha," but I'm actually gonna go and like stop the evil guys and like do the thing,
Dude, The Room Where Dracula Sucks. This is a book. We could get this book.
Wait, is this Marilyn Manson? This is Marilyn Manson's. Marilyn Manson's rape room.
See, I think Neil Gaiman broke you at some point. You were a different person, and I think there's like a BCAD with Vincent, which is just Neil Gaiman.
Look, there's multiple celebrities over the years that have done this. Like where I'm
let you down.
I get disappointed. I don't know everything about Neil Gaiman. Like there's too much confusion and there's too much unknowns, but I obviously don't have faith in the man. But don't get tattoos of celebrities. Avoid it. I never got one of Neil Gaiman, but
I was worried. Do you get the Sandman at least? What?
I do have Sandman. I have Sandman on my arm actually. But
put it in front of your body so we can see it because your background erases it.
Check out my sweater.
Oh my god! All right, that's pretty sweet. Here, let me solo that.
Give us a little old-fashioned show. Show the back of the sweater again. You got a oneer.
I have Sandman on my arm here.
Here, put it in front of your belly so we can see it. There you go. That's it. Wow. Dang.
I got this years ago now. I got for free too.
Jesus.
You
better be. I hope to God that the ink poisoning conspiracy theories are all lies and that you live 1,000 years, sir. But
I don't know, man. Yeah, I have a lot of pain. I have a tattoo of Keanu Reeves on my leg for some reason, and Serge Tankian, and I just hope they never ate babies or raped anyone or any of that, because you never know anymore. You never know. Like it's a major. Like, some people out there have fucking tattoos of like horrible people that like. They didn't know.
If we cancel like everybody, right? Like that would kind of be, who David statue. David killed his friend for his friend's wife, right?
Who?
David in the Bible, right? Isn't that right?
Oh.
David commits adultery and murder. He marries Bathsheba, right? And he marries Bathsheba after sending his best friend, who's the husband of Bathsheba, to battle. So if we just stood around the statue of Michelangelo's David, beautiful statue, and then someone just said, you know what though, he was a bad guy. He he killed a guy in order to get his wife Bathsheba. He's canceled now. And then we had to tear down Michelangelo's statue of David because he's canceled. That's where we're at as a society generally. And you don't want to do that. You actually are better off with the biblical narrative of these are all sinners. Daniel, David, Moses, like every one of them has committed sins. And these are the consequences of their sin. They did these good things and God rewarded them, and they did these bad things, and then God punished them and their children and their children's children for 7 generations. But there's no like canceling. Canceling is useless. It's just more about explaining the consequences of what good or bad things have caused, I think.
Right. Well, we're all sinners to a degree. Obviously, there's a spectrum to sin, but there's also redemption in all this. And, you know, if we're all sinners, then the highest points, I don't remember who said it, but like, you know, if we're all judged for our worst moments, then we're all found lacking for sure. But if we're judged for our best moments, then, you know, like maybe that's what matters in the macro. Maybe it's the good we do, and the bad is just the reality of existing. And the defiance of that is just being good, you know?
Doesn't Colossus say that all it takes is like one or two moments that make you a hero or something like that?
I don't know which one is it. He said a lot of things.
In the second school, Colossus says to him that all it takes is like one or two moments to.
Can you say that with a Russian accent? Sorry.
All it takes is.
All it takes that
one poor moment. Yeah.
Just be bisexual with me for 1 second.
All right. I mean, you can count that as your closing words, or you can have another one if you got more closing words.
Sure. You know, we're at the point of mass illusion, like accelerating, and it's like each time that we get a new revelation, it's like it's used as a lure to hurt us in a certain direction. And there's a psyop for everyone. There's a psyop covering every base. And so you always have to reevaluate your beliefs and where you get your beliefs and what authority you trust with it, because frankly, they're not trustworthy. There's no trustworthy authority. And I'm not saying that it's all invalid, that you shouldn't listen to authority. I'm just saying don't let your reality be dictated to you. Try to like at least process information yourself instead of just having it handed to you. And you might get some clarity, maybe.
Nice. I like it.
And I love you guys.
I love you too. I'm glad we did this a little later so that we could get you on properly. And apparently it didn't work anyway today, you bastard, but it was still worth it. It's still worth it to wait.
Sorry.
That's all right. Blue collar Godfather. What about you, Andrew?
Let's add identity politics is bullshit. Like Vincent was saying, you know, it doesn't matter what you believe in. At the end of the day, we all have so much more in common with each other than we don't. And that's just a fact. That all being said, in these very uncertain times, please arm yourself, but also train. You don't want to be a loot drop. And, you know, don't be quiet about this. We can't afford to be quiet about this. We're on the cusp of a huge change, and they're called growing pains, not pleasures. It's going to be tough, but there is there's a world worth living in on the other side of this mess. We just got to get through it, and the only way that we're going to get through it is together with love
and guns.
Well, you know, violence is a language of the state, and so if
sex and violence.
Yeah, I don't know. And you know what? You know, it's protecting life is an honorable thing, you know, and it's like, and I've said it before, you know, I don't want to like fight against the stuff that I hate. I want to work for the things that I love. But a part of that is being willing to defend it, because there are, you know, bad actors, and I don't want to be caught with my pants down. I don't think anybody does. You know, I would much prefer to live in a universe where guns were never invented, never existed, but that's a fantasy. So this is the world we're living in, and I'm dealing with reality on reality's terms.
Sweet.
Well,
I posted a link to the song. I'm working on an album, but one of the songs, if anyone wants to give it a listen.
See no shirt right here. These are really good, especially with headphones, because there's always like that surround sound feeling that is nice. But definitely tell you should wear headphones when you check out Eudaimania. Eudaimania.
Do my best.
Dude. And Terrorisk.
What's up?
Give us something, Chris.
I got really not much to say except I'm thankful for every day. I'm thankful for everyone who chooses to stop by and listen to us bullshit and chit chat. And thankful to Andreas for bringing us all together like this. It's always a great time. And seriously, I cannot state it enough. Thank you. Because the presence of everyone in the chat and in the panels makes this all worthwhile. Makes every moment memorable.
Chat.
Yeah.
Y'all are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much
and
appreciated.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
Next time.
Next time.
There's philosophy